How's it going, everybody? Welcome to the Laser Method YouTube channel. Today we're going to be reviewing that AtomStack S10 Pro that we have been delayed on giving you the review for 3 months now. We're a little behind the 8 ball here, but we're going to get caught up. We're going to get you this review. This review is not a paid advertisement. It's not asked by AtomStack. This is strictly me giving my 100% thoughts, feelings, and emotions about this thing. Boy, has it been an up and down battle with this. It's been a learning curve for sure, and you're gonna hear all about what all we've had to endure and the good and the bad about this machine. So be sure to stick around. First, I wanna start by saying that owning a laser, whether it be a diode laser, a CO2 laser, a fiber laser, a UV laser, you can't go wrong with owning a laser. There's so much that you can do with a laser based on the type of laser that you own. Obviously, the diode laser is an entry-level laser. There's no way of saying it other than it's an entry level. Yes, you can do quite a bit with a diode laser, not as much as you can with a fiber laser or CO2 laser or even a UV laser. But if you want to get the basics, you want to be able to engrave and cut wood, engrave acrylic, glass, you can even etch metal, then yeah, get you a diode. It's a cheap way to get into it for sure. I think we paid out of our own pocket anywhere from like $800,000, $900,000. Can't remember the exact total. It's been 4 months now since we bought it, basically. So, but we're getting ready to dive into the review of this. I'm going to start off with the cons about this first, and then we're going to go into the pros. So what you're seeing here is a 10-watt diode laser from AtomStack. It is the S10 Pro. The laser unit itself is the M50. Now, the website claims that this thing can cut through half-inch wood. Well, I'm going to be the first to tell you, after many failed attempts, it does not cut through half-inch wood. I'm sorry. The website is wrong. So you can look to cut through 1/8 inch. You might be able to get 1/4 inch. I haven't tried 1/4 inch yet, but you could probably get it with about a dozen or so passes through. It takes about 4 to 5 passes to get a successful cut through bolted birch 1/8 inch. Now the next thing you're looking at here is the AtomStack Air Assist. And when it says Air Assist, I don't know what they mean by Air Assist. This thing does not do what you think it should do. Yes, it does blow air, very, very faint air, even at high pressure, which really isn't a pressure. You may as well just spend your money on a fish tank pump. That's going to be not even half the price of what I paid for this. You're going to look at, you can spend 20 bucks on an air pump from a fish tank and get the same results as well. So I do not recommend getting this Air Assist. It's not worth the money. It doesn't keep the dust and dirt off the lens, unfortunately. So I would look elsewhere for a really good air pump or air assist, or if you have an actual air compressor that you can tie into it, that you can set to a decently low 30 PSI, that would be your best bet. The air assist just is not worth the money spent on it for sure. We do run it because it does provide some assistance, but not the assistance that you would really expect from an air assist. So the next item up that's on our con list is going to be the actual AtomStack rotary roller. While there's not really too many flaws with it, it did come with a flaw straight out, and that was one of these rollers here. Can't remember which side the actual rubber mount was loose to it. As you see, there's just 2 set screws in it that tighten right here. So those were loose, which it wasn't a big deal, but it's just kind of like a, come on, that's a simple little thing that got overlooked that should have been caught before it left the factory. So when you would power this thing on and jog it, this thing, the actual bar itself here would spin, but the actual rubber rotary would not spin. And if you didn't catch it, then you could really ruin a cut or an engraving really, really bad. The next con, and I don't know if there's a solution that they can do for this, with the way it sits, but a lot of cups, regardless, will start to jog as this thing rotates, will jog forward, and will then, of course, ruin an engraving just as fast, just as bad. This piece here, the extra support piece, there's not really anything wrong with it. It's actually not a bad design. It's got multiple options for different types of cups and round objects, so I don't really have a complaint about this. I just, the only thing I wish that maybe they could do is to put this on maybe a little bar in between that allows this to be adjusted. Now, I did have to drill my own holes into it to mount it inside the laser, so that way it stayed stationary, because other time it would just walk. It would kind of move around a little bit, so I was able to, anchor it down with a couple screws, and that resolved that problem. But like I said, if there was a way to make this adjustable to make up for different cups and whatnot, that would be tremendous. I don't know if they have something like that on other ones. I just know with this, it really could use a little tweaking. All right, so the next order of business is going to be this honeycomb bed. While I have used it and it has come in useful, I did find an alternative for this, and the reason I have an issue with this is, one, the surface of it is only 330 millimeters by 210 millimeters, which isn't very big. It will not fit your standard 12 by 12 sheet of Baltic birch. So you're left with a couple conundrums here. One, it just doesn't fit. No matter how straight and up to the edge I get it, it just does not fit. So as you're going, the board's already angled up and you already have your laser head set to its focus point. You can't change that, to jump up, unfortunately. So it just hits this and it ends up usually sliding the board or the entire honeycomb bed itself around, and in turn it's ruining your entire engraving or cut, whatever you got going on. The next item is going to be these hold downs. While they are nice and they do move, if you've got a big engraving or cut that you're doing, as big as that laser head is, 9 times out of 10 you end up hitting these, and when you do, it ends up moving the entire thing around and you've ruined your cut. So AtomStack needs to go back to the drawing board with this and figure out a different way to anchor these down. These bolts are just too high. Would love to see them come up with like an L bracket that goes into the side. That would resolve 99% of the problem. And then the next thing that they send you are these refrigerator magnets, and they think that this is going to hold down your sheet of wood. Might hold down a sheet of paper, no problem, but they don't penetrate. The magnetic field of it does not penetrate through the wood. Luckily I have some rare earth magnets that are really strong that do help in this case, but at the same time they do get in the way. They don't come with the little push pins, unfortunately, and I 3D printed some push pins for, I don't remember what brand it was, the Glowforge honeycomb bed, hoping that it would fit, and unfortunately it doesn't. So I've got to go back to the drawing board on using these if I want to go back to using this honeycomb bed. But at this moment, I refuse to use this anymore. It was a waste of my money. I actually, in turn, have gone and got baking drying sheets or cooling trays and used them instead. Nothing gets in the way of them. They got a good surface to them, and you can cut with them. I mean, may as well spend the, I think, $5 I spent on them compared to the $100 and something I spent on this thing. So if I could go back and get this out of my cart, I would. I wouldn't put it in my cart to begin with. We'll go on to the next issue, and that'll be it, and then we'll go to the pros of everything. All right, so we're going to step into the last con of this laser engraver, and that is going to be that AtomStack does not send you the protective lens cover for your laser engraver. They send you the lens, obviously, it comes in the module, but there's actually a lens cover that screws into the end of it that helps keep that dirt, debris, smoke, dust, all that off the lens, and helps the life of your lens last a little bit longer. And they don't send it with it for whatever reason. I don't know if they refuse to, if they forget to. I've seen people say that, you know, they never got them. I've seen people say that they changed it and they are getting them. I don't know. So I just know I didn't get them. So now it's cost me $60 on top of what I already spent on this machine to fix the lens and get the lens cover itself. Unfortunately, I had to spend that money, and now I've got to wait 3 to 4 weeks to get it in the mail. It's coming from AliExpress. So if you want to find them in the US, good luck. I've only been able to find them in China, and it's like a 3 to 4 week wait to get them, unfortunately. And unfortunately, I cannot wait that long to use the laser for it to be down. So I'm just running it as is, hoping that everything works out just fine. Everything seems okay so far, but we'll see. Now let's get into the pros of this thing. It's a laser engraver. It's awesome. It's engraved so many things for me and cut so many things, like these earrings here. They've done those. I've even got more earrings. I've got a ton of earrings. We've got earring display and candlelight little things. We've got more earring displays, and a piece of it just fell off because I cut it too big. We've got tumblers, flask. We've got acrylic signs that we've etched. We've got glass cups that we've etched. There's so much you can do with a laser engraver, even a diode, that regardless of what you spend on it, it's going to be worth it in the long run. It's just, do you want to get one that's a little bit more powerful than this 10 watt? Yes, a 10 watt is a decent one. I won't lie, it's a decent one. But even decent isn't good enough. Sometimes it's better to spend a little extra and get either a higher power, or, in my opinion, just from everything I've read and a friend of mine that has one, a CO2 laser is the way to go if you're going to run a business. And for us, we run a small business, so we've got to have it. Just like I've got 4 3D printers right here, and all but one is going at the moment, and that's just because the print ended just before recording. So we are going to upgrade, and when we do upgrade, we are going to get rid of the diode. We're going to completely say goodbye to the diode and go to a CO2. I wish I wouldn't have wasted my money on this. I spent, close to $1,000 on this thing, and it's not been beneficial. The times are slow, so if you want to cut something, you're making multiple passes, you're running real low speed, you're running at a high power, and running at a high power is really bad for a laser over an extended period of time. It weakens it, just like your car. If you drive your car real hard, you're lessening the life of that car for sure. So, and the same thing goes for a laser with this diode laser. Actually, any laser really. You run at 100% like this thing does when we're cutting wood or we're etching glass and stuff like that. It's putting major wear and tear on that laser. It's just not worth it. I could spend another $3,000. Actually, I could spend a total of $3,000, another $2,000 basically, get a CO2 that, for me to do what I'm doing, you only run at like 40-50% of its power ability, which is amazing. That extends the life of that so much longer. They come with a 10,000 hour tube. Why not? Why not save the extra couple $1,000? Get you a CO2. I'm not saying get a Glowforge or an OhmTech. There's the brand HL. A friend of mine has one, and it's been amazing for him and his wife. Their business has really shot off. They're constantly on. They're constantly using it. Very seldom is it ever down. He hasn't told me of one time in the last year that he's had any downtime other than just working with the machine and figuring out when they first got it. So no, I will never go back to an AtomStack brand for sure, and I will never go back to a diode laser. Now, I don't say I'm not going back to an AtomStack because I won't go to diode. I won't go back to AtomStack because I'm not happy with what I've got. yeah, it's made me money, I won't lie. But there's a lot of long nights that you're up watching the machine because you can't leave it when it's running. You've got to be with it, because if something was to happen, you'd be screwed. And you don't want a chance of a fire breaking out. I've had that. I had a fire break out inside the box here. I was trying to do acrylic the first time learning it, and I made the mistake of having the power way too high and the speed way too low and the air assist on, and next thing I knew, I had a full-on fire inside. And I will show you the spot where it burned. So if I can get a machine that can do the job faster and less power, and I don't have to stay up all night to babysit it, I'll spend the extra money and go away from the diode. So when you see me with the CO2, hit me up, because this diode will be up for sale. Guarantee it. It will still be a usable, working laser engraver. It just won't be as good as a CO2, unfortunately. All right, now that rant's over with, let's go back into the pros of this thing though. Like first stated, it is a laser engraver. It does all kinds of great things. The other pro of this thing is its price. I mean, it is cheap for what it is. It's very cheap for a laser engraver. You can't go wrong with it, and you still get a decent performance out of it for being a diode. There's really not too many pros about this thing. It is nice that I can take it out and I can take it to shows and use it. You do still run the risk of, running, projects that take long to cut or engrave, and you just don't want that. So that's it for the pros. I'm sorry. AtomStack, you got some work to do on this. I once was a fan. I am no longer a fan anymore. I'm giving up AtomStack. So on to the next pro here. It's going to be that this is perfect for a hobbyist or someone who just has a few things they want to do with it, which I guess would still be considered a hobbyist in a way. It's okay for a business if you want to start a laser engraving business, but it's good for just a startup. Once you get past the startup and you really want to get into the good stuff, you really need to go to CO2. So yes, I guess it's good for a startup. So I was asked, would I ever recommend this to a friend or a family or anybody? And the answer is no. I would not. I would not recommend the AtomStack to a single person. It has been nothing but a logistical nightmare from day one of purchasing. Actually, day one was great. I made my purchase, thought I was going to get it. It said I was going to get this and that in a certain amount of days, and it was going to ship. Some of it was going to ship from the U.S., when really 90% of it shipped from China and took weeks, a month, basically, to get it in. I have a whole video on the nightmare I dealt with AtomStack. Don't waste your time. Don't waste your money. Look elsewhere. If I had to do it all over again and I had to get a diode, I would look at X-Tool. Without a doubt, X-Tool. That's the way to go. Yes, you are going to spend a little more, but remember, you get what you pay for. Here, I thought I was going to get what I paid for, and I got way under what I paid for. X-Tool delivers. Not AtomStack. AtomStack's junk. It's garbage. I will never go back to an AtomStack ever again. All right, so there it is. There's my honest facts and opinions, thoughts of the AtomStack S10 Pro. Also, this goes along with the A10 Pro and the M7, that it's just garbage. It's junk. It's not worth your time. It's not worth your money. But if you all would do me a major favor, down below, hit that subscribe button, hit the thumbs up, make sure the notifications are turned on so you're notified every time I post a video. We do have another video getting ready to launch here in a couple of days on another product that we got from a company that I will still be giving my honest and fair opinion on. They did not have any stipulations on what I was to say, so it is free game. When I get to test this product, I will be testing it this week. So be sure to check out the videos for that. And with that, I appreciate all of you all for stopping in the Laser Method YouTube channel. We will see you all later.